Hello everyone, I am Gunjan. I am your trainer for the day. Hello Kamya and Adya. We will start without any further delay. So today's topic is ethical content development. Before that, I would like to begin by introducing myself. I am Gunjan. I am the product manager at OrangeSlates. Before this, I was the academic head at Indian Institute of Gems and Jewelry, and I absolutely adore creating content and curating content, and I'm an instructional designer by choice. So during my stint as instructional designers, we need to download many images, download many content, and then you need to give you know uh, references to it. Hence my interest in ethical content development, and hence it is so close to my heart. Let me share my screen with you. So today's session is all about how do we ensure that the content we make is ethical. So just let me share the screen. I hope you can see my slides. Kamika, can you see that? If you can respond on the chat. Thank you. So, what is ethical content development? So it is series of answers to this question is what there are so many questions. There are series of answers in this question, and my whole presentation will take you through through the answers of this question. For example, if you're creating your content, is it original? If it is not original, then the information and resources where you got read or you got from, are they objective? Are they authentic? Is the information and knowledge which you are sharing with others updated? And when you search for a content, are there extra links provided there? And if they are, you know, can you make use of them? How do you give due credit to the creator? Somebody has gone ahead, done a lot of hard work, written an article. Somebody has is an artist and made an image. How do you give the due credit to the creators? Is also what we will see. Have you checked out open education resources? Any of you know what open education resources is? If you can, if you know, you can just put it on the chat. If you don't know, just put no. And have you copyrighted your original work? So it's not that that when you take from somewhere, you give you credit to somebody. When you are doing some work, you are making a lesson plan or you are making an image, you can copyright your own work also. So many of us don't know open education resources. I see on the chat. We'll go through it and we'll see in detail what it is. Just a second. So how do we find authentic resources? What are authentic resources? Finally, now the world has become copy paste from the net. So how do we make sure this article is authentic or it is reliable or I should use it or not? There's some basic few tips, general knowledge, nothing, apart from it. But if you think and deeply and think widely, then, you can make out. So, first and foremost, see who the author is. If the author is UNESCO or a government organization or a expert in that field, there's no harm in taking this reading resources from there and taking their this content. Is the information objective? Hi Suman, welcome. So is the information objective? It is bias free. So once we are teachers, we get to know, is the person who's writing very very colored or bias free, you get to know from the writing. uh, all the websites which you actually refer should have a address or a place where you can go to, you can also look for copyright licenses. We'll talk about it. There's something known as Creative Commons, and there's the C copyright, which we all know, right? So you can see for that. Then you can see how the website is structured or how the thoughts are structured. All these are common sense. I'm sure you know it. Um, and how relevant it is, obviously, to you. So this is how we generally use authentic resources. Now, when we talk about giving citation or not using other people's work and you only use your work, does that mean that you have to, every time you write something, you have to be very creative? There is something known as paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is when you write somebody else's work in your own words. So does that make it your resource? No, it doesn't. You still, your idea is somebody else, so you have to cite those resources. So, what is fair usage of resources? Fair usage of resources, just a second. Yeah. So, no, common sense says that you can use resources for research. Obviously, some people have put that on the net. People have put something on written books. It is for us to read, right? So you can use resources for research. You can critique them, especially English teachers do a lot of critique. Even history teachers do a lot of critique. So you can critique a work. You can use it for private resources. You can news and reporting. News people have to have access to a lot of resources, so they're allowed to use it as long as it is for news and reporting. Obviously, judges are allowed to use any resources for their judicial proceedings. Again, one of the most important fair usage of resources, it should be non-commercial. You cannot take somebody's artwork, print it and sell it, or you cannot use somebody's work which is written, write it in your book and use it commercially. So that is one area which you should not do. So now, when do you cite resources? When you cite anything, for example, you've taken something from the net and you want to give reference. So when you cite it, especially when you use quotes, you need to cite. Whenever you feel this idea is not yours, it is somebody else's, obviously you need to cite. Again, I spoke about paraphrasing earlier. If you write, if you've read something, you've got influence from 4 or 5 websites, you've reached, you've researched 4 or 5 books, and you have written somewhere. But in the bibliography, you should mention each and every book you read, because finally your ideas were developed from there. And when your work is based on somebody else's work, especially in research, then you obviously give reference to them. So all these are places where you need to cite. So if you ask me anything under the sun, you have to cite, right? But no, common knowledge need not be cited. So there is a sun or there is a moon. These are common knowledge. Those you don't need to sign. And why do we say that you should give credit? And why am I actually doing this session? Let me just stop share and then I'll have some ideas from you. Before going ahead, I would like some of you to open your cameras and just set the expectations from me. Why did you want to join this course, or why did you come to this session? Suman, Ankita, Kamika, any one of you. If you can just unmute and say. I think Suman's microphone is not working. Ankita, any thoughts? What are you looking for in this program from here, from me today? Hello, Suman. Uh, so somebody said that you don't know about open resources, so you want to know about that. Fair enough. You can type on the chat also if you're not able to talk to me. Okay, let's go ahead. Um, so in case you have any questions, you can always, type on the chat, talk to me, anything is okay. So why do we need to give credit? We need to give credit because our work becomes more authentic. It shows, especially for, this is very important for you students. Why do you need to teach them to add a bibliography at the end? Why do we need to teach them that just copy pasting is not good enough? It is because, you have to inculcate those habits from early on only. So it also helps you, locate related articles and studies. For example, your one of your student has written a beautiful essay and has given some references. So you are also able to go and see where the student has got those ideas from, and maybe you also start liking and you can share. It becomes a bigger community of sharing, and obviously it adds credibility. Now, if you see any citation, common citation will have four main parts to it. Citation is bibliography or whatever referencing you call. A citation is where you have the author's name, you have the title of the book or the website, you have the publication data. So publication data now in this day and age is website data, and the year of publication. So there are many styles of citation. One is APA, MLA, Chicago, then you have Harvard. There are so many styles. So what are these styles? These styles are nothing. These are the way they tell you how you should cite your resources, and also how should you write your articles or research work. So they give deep guidelines on how you should write, how should you present tables, how should you present pictures, so more relevant for research, but our students also should know that they need to cite in one of the styles. When most of the popular ones are MLA, APA, Harvard, you choose anyone, but tell them to do it. And it is very simple now. It is not that they have to learn how to cite, they just have to go online and find it. So what do citation slides basically prescribe? They prescribe how to write the heading, the font size, the font, and how to write the titles, where should the punctuation be, what is the style of writing you should, do, how are the different tables and figures to be formatted, and most importantly, what we will be talking about is citations and references. Now look at some citations by by in APA or in an MLA. So this is a book by Fault Lines by Raghuram GR, if you know the famous person. If you see his name, surname is first and then his initials, then the year in which the book was published, the book name in italics. It was published in Noida and HarperCollins. So this is a simple citation style of a book. Similarly, citation style in MLA is the same. Only here you have the book name in the beginning and the year in the end. So most of the citation style will follow at least these four. Where they come is not important, but these four elements will always come. So there is the author name, that is the publication sale, then you have the title, and you have the location and the publisher. So now there are many examples I can give you. So you can cite for a single author. Then there are books which are of multiple authors. Then there are books written by which are encyclopedias, or you have taken just one article from the book, then there is a general entry website. There are now, because of the web www being so large, there are articles which will have no author and no name also, but they're very good and you want to cite them. Then how do you do that? So this is a single author's book which I showed you earlier. This is a citation of book written by multiple authors. So this is two authors. We'll not go into the depth of this because I will show you how to do it very simply online. So this is for a journal entry. I will post this, or if you require, if you want to get into research, you can ask me. I will share how to do this later. Now, there is also something known as in-text citation. There are two kinds of citations, if you know. There is one is bibliography of reference, which comes after the article or after the book. And there are citations when you are already writing inside the article, you cite that author. For example, Gardner opines that it is best to avoid plagiarism by quoting the exact parts which are copied. So I'm talking about Gardner. Or sometimes you put into quotes, then you also put his name and the number in the year which he published the book, and this is how it is done. So this is called in-text citation. It really adds credibility to your essays, your researches, your articles. Okay. Thank you, Suman, and thank you, Adya. Sorry. Now let me show you how to do citation and check plagiarism online. So there are many citation tools which are available online. Let me show you Cite This For Me. So now this is a site where actually you can actually go ahead and create a citation if you don't know how to create a citation at all. For example, let us take any article. So people didn't know what is open education resources. So we find open education resources. I found this article. I really liked it. Now I don't know how to cite it. What do? I just click on the website and copy it. I go here. I select my citation styles. See, they have given many citation styles. So I select any of the citation style. For example, I'm selecting APA. I select the APA citation style, and then I say add new reference. It will ask me what kind of source you want to cite. Currently, I want to cite a website. I'm showing a website because it's the most easiest. And you say search. It has found some resource, and you say cite. So side by my site, this for me says that I could find the article, but I could not find the author, publisher, and publishing date. No problem, we just continue. It's asking for the first name. If you see, mostly if you go to any of the articles, it will show you, who has written it. In this case, I think UNESCO is only, the publisher and the writer. They have not given a author. So you just select UNESCO. So, the author is actually a organization and not a particular author. And you say complete citation. And your citation is ready for in-text as well as for end of your article, project, or whatever students do. They just need to copy it and paste it. As simple as that. There is another way which is called Google Scholar. You just need to go on Google Scholar and it will find articles for you from left, right, and center. Open education resources I have put. If you see, there's so many articles. Now here I want to tell you that anything which is quote, this is a symbol for citation. You just need to click on that symbol and it will, and you just have to choose any of the article or sorry citation which you want to copy paste. APA, MA, Chicago, for example. I just want to select Chicago. I'll say copy and I can go onto my the place where I want to cite it and I can just paste it. As simple as that. Any questions till now? Any questions till now? If you can put on the chat. Okay. Yeah, I will be providing PDF for all this. I will be providing, links in a PDF for all of you.
No, ma'am, it's quite clear.
It's right. Yeah. So okay. The other tool I wanted to tell you is small CO tools or a plagiarism tool. Now, what does this do? This is a very important tool for teachers. Um, you can you can actually check students' work is original or not. Um, you can just type plagiarism checker free on the website. I love small CO tool because it is simple and it makes my life easier. So what you need to do is nothing. You need to copy paste some content. So let me find some. Give me 1 minute. Let me find some content and I'll show you how to check plagiarism there. So to check your content for plagiarism, the word count is less than 1,000. So in case you have, multiple assignments, you'll have to check again and again. So if you see, this is a document, for example, this is, if this was a student's work, I just have to go here and paste here. You can also upload files, but again, that is in the premier version. For free, you need to just copy and paste and you say check plagiarism. So now it has already started checking plagiarism for the content I put. If you see, it is started. It's saying, I will have to say I'm not a robot and say check plagiarism. So it has already started. If you see, the journey has started. Slowly it will, read everything and it will tell me, give me a report of how much of my content is original, how much is unique. And it will also give you, if it is plagiarized, it will also give you website from where the content has been taken. In this case, it says 54% unique, and I know I have made this thing, so I know it will be 100% unique. But for your students, you can always find out, get a plagiarism report for this. So there are many, many websites like this. You have small CO, you have Grammarly, you know Grammarly checks grammar also. So you can actually go ahead and tell your students that this is the site where I'm going to check your assignment from, so you better be original. And you actually explain them in this, it's not about scaring them or about, making a puhalla about, copy pasting. It is right now at the beginning when they're in class 1, class 2, class 5, we are inculcating the habit of ethical content. We are inculcating the habit of open education resources. and what they mean. So how do you cite images? Well, this is the most common question which I get. For example, this is an image. If you see, I have got from just a second. I have got from Google. This is an image by Gavin Black based on this. And how did I get it? It's not that I knew this person. It's not that I actually did a lot of research. It is very simple. Let me take you there. Sorry. So this is a common site. Now, for example, you want to search for any. Can I get any ideas of what this is? Images you usually search for. If you can just put it on the chat, I can see it. Okay. So I have searched for images from open education resources. I go here. Now I want to use this image. One way is I visit this site. I go there. I copy paste it. I save image as and I save it. And then I see if is it copyrighted. So it is copyrighted by this. So I copy paste this and put it in my website or wherever I am putting the image. The other way is I go here, I right click on it and say copy image address. As soon as I put copy image address, I will get the address of the image and I can simply go and paste it here if you see. So whenever, if somebody wants to see, I just need to write image source and, whenever I click on it, it will automatically take me to the website where it was. So this is how simple, it is to cite images, but lot of times we just we feel it is a big task and, we should not do, who will get into it, but this is as simple as this. So whenever you download an image, download the image address also. Any questions from till now? And stop share for some time. Any questions?
Ma'am, can you just repeat the step of image citation which you just showed?
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, Viper is also old enough and it's a good site. But I think Viper in the sometime back it was not working. It was all paid. Now I don't know. We'll have to check. So finding Google images is very simple. Just let me go back to the website. I just need to type anything. For example, you want English, images for your English lesson, and you found so many images, and you like this one. So it says that it is the images by University of Oregon. You can use them, or you can just say copy image address. That's it,
Okay.
and paste it on your wherever you have put the picture. Like I have put it here.
Okay. Very simple and
Very
neat.
simple. Yeah. And we should teach our students also, our kids who are with us. Now, how do we safeguard our work? So we are talking about, giving citation, giving due credit. Ethical content is when when you acknowledge people have done hard work. But as teachers, we also do a lot of hard work. We make lesson plans. We create, do make so many creatives, cut, paste, so many things we do. We make presentations. We make actually lessons. How do we safeguard our original work? So let me just give you a gist about what is copyright and what is intellectual rights. Copyrights are tangible creations. For example, there is a book which is tangible, or there is there's a product. You copyright the product. Intellectual rights is more tangible and intangible. So your idea is also uh, intellectual right. So basically, in the umbrella of intellectual right, you have discoveries, you have copyrights, you have patents, you have trademarks, inventions, so slogans. You've written a poem. That's also your intellectual right. So this is a little bit about before we get into uh, open source license. Now, what are these licenses? So basically, these are nothing. They say that this is my copyright. I have created this work. So there are six kind of licenses by Creative Commons. Now, Creative Commons is I believe it's a revolution. Uh, it is self-managing. It is on the net, and where you're trying to self-manage or self-license your work. So it's a big movement which is there, where even the governments have accepted Creative Commons as open source license. So what are these licenses? There's nothing as simple, combination of these four things. One is buy. Buy means, I have made this lesson plan. Please give me credit. As simple as this. One is ND. ND is that this is my lesson plan. I love my lesson plan and I feel it is perfect. Use it as it is. Don't make changes to it. Or use my picture as it is. Don't Photoshop it. As simple as this. Essay is share alike. It is this. You can share whatever content I have put on the same terms in which I have put. If I have, CC'd my work as by an ND, you share my work, then you also don't make changes in it, and not wherever you're sharing, those people also do not make changes to my work. As simple as this. And non-commercial, don't use my work commercial. Sometimes, you make a picture and you really like it, or you make a lesson plan and you really like it, and you feel that it is very, very helpful for other teachers, and people should use it, and even if they want to use it commercially, I have no problem. You can go ahead and do that. So combination of these four is Creative Common licenses. If you see, these are four icons. You can see six icons. So one is buy, which is the simplest license, that use my work, but please give me give me credit. Other is CC by ND, which is give me credit and don't make changes. Another is CC by SA, which says, give me credit and share on the same terms. Then there is one with non-commercial, one is the strictest one is non-commercial, non-derivative. That you give me credit, don't make changes, don't sell it. That is the strictest one. And then you have non-commercial and SA, where you can make changes, but please don't use it commercially. Now, if I want to give my work, for example, this PPT is made by myself. I want to give credit to myself, and I don't know which license is there. How do I do that? Simple, you go to this beta site by Creative Commons. It will help you to create a license. So first question it will ask, do you know the license you need? So because you and me are new, we say no, we don't know the license we need. It goes next. Then it asks you, do you want attribution to your work? It means it is asking when somebody else is using your lesson plan, or if somebody else is using the biology lesson which you have created, do you want them to give you credit? You said, yes, bhai, I want credit. See, it has started creating your license. Buy has come here. You go to next. Then you say, do you want others to use your work commercially? People might take your lesson and they might, if they want to sell it to other teachers, or if they take your picture and they make it into a collage and sell that collage, are you okay with it? Some people are, some people are not. Let us choose no and go to next. So do you want others to remix, adapt, or build on your work? So these are also some of the attributes of open education resources. We'll talk about it. So if you have made a lesson plan and do you want people to make changes or localize your content. For example, you made a lesson plan in India and a person from US wants to use. Can they remix and adapt it? You say yes. You might say no. It's again it is your. Now it says, do you want others to show? So once I've taken your lessons, when I made those changes, can I share the changed versions? Yes, no. Again, you say yes. Go to next. So now they're asking these ethical, moral questions. They're asking you, that I have the authority and license to my work. That means you're confirming that this work is original and that I have read and understood the terms of license. So I know what CC no means. I know what by means. I know, what is non-derivatives. And if I don't know, you can always go and find out. You can see the license deed and find out. And I understand this is not revocable. And you say next. So now you can also put the name of your work. For example, I'll put ethical content development. My name is Gunja. I can also put a link to my work if there is. Currently, I don't have. I can put a link to my. So, for example, that photo had a direct link to Twitter. So you can put your Twitter handle, your FB handle, anything. So, for here I'm putting OrangeSlates.com and year of creation is 2022. And I say done. So it has created a license for me. It says ethical content development copyrighted 2002 by Gunjan is licensed under these terms. I just need to copy it and go ahead and paste it. As simple as that. I can go ahead and paste it here. If you see, I have my license ready. As simple as this. I will also share this link with all of you in the chat. You can go ahead and check it out. Ankita, Kamika, any questions you can always ask me. I'll share my screen again. So that was all about Creative Commons. Now let's talk about open education resources. There was a little video which I wanted to show you. Just a second, let me stop share and share my sound. Then we'll talk about it.
If the human reference genome had not been freely accessible, understanding what genetic variations mean would be a very costly affair. Now imagine, if Tycho Brahe hadn't annotated his astronomical observations, Johannes Kepler couldn't have used them to support heliocentrism. If every database or tool had a license of its own, researchers would have to dabble in other disciplines. If data was not curated by experts, it would get outdated or end up in the wrong place. And if resources like the Global Encyclopedia of Proteins UniProt were no longer funded, initiatives exist already to improve data reuse, but data alone is not knowledge. Thanks to quality databases, researchers go further and faster. Let's support them with the skills of specialized data scientists.
So what this videos trying to tell is that if we didn't have data, or if everything which we tried to create was licensed, it like world would become very tough. It is very difficult, for people to do research or to study or to do anything if we didn't have open education resources. And now open educated educational resources have become actually a movement. There are websites where you can go and do courses free of cost. You can find textbooks free of cost. You can find, articles free of cost. Even detailed medical researches people are putting out there. In India, we have something known as Shodh Ganga, which where each and every PhD which is done in India is now put there, and people go ahead and read the latest researches. So how what is in it for the teachers? Just let me go ahead. So open educational resources, you can get free reviewed books. You can go to Khan Academy. All of us know Khan Academy. We know TED Ed. So there are where you can TED Ed is place where you can find educational talks, presentations. Khan Academy, you can find plethora of work, for students free of cost. Then there's something known as open courseware. Open courseware is where courses are put free of cost by the top universities like MIT and Sloan and so many, and it's just free of cost for anybody to go and study there. In India, we are not behind. We have Shodh Ganga, we have Neptel, we have E-Pathshala. Let me just click there and show you. So we have E-Pathshala, which is, multilingual. It has many resources. It uses less space. So if you see, these are so many YouTube ones. Then you have Swayam, you have Swayam Prabha. The list goes on. uh, we you also can find free images online. So most of the images which will have a watermark on it are not free. So don't take it, and they don't look good. But there are many places which provide free images. One is Shopify. It tells you, download stunning photos for websites and commercial use. It also gives you free photos. If you see free photos, so you can say free books. So it will show, it will give you a number of books which are free, and you can choose from high resolution, low resolution, things like that. Similarly, there is flat icon and noun project, which is icons and uh, pictures which are free to use. If you see noun project has black and white icons. Flat icon has, if you see, many colored icons. Don't worry, I will also put all this in a PDF and send it to you, or I'll put the PDF in the chat at the end. Similarly, there are so many. You have every pixels, many. There is also freeimages.com also. Now, what are open education resources? Again, they are repository of place of content which is completely free. So this is these are two basic big chunks which I have made. One is for K-12 and one is for education, higher education, and for teachers and so much more. Let me show you one website which is called CK12. It is completely free, or you can find lessons, lesson plans, um, videos, everything free of cost. You just need to put, for example, microorganisms I put. So you will find, it will search for my lessons on microorganisms and give me. So there's a video, there's a red, there is, you can just select. If you see, there is math, science, English, and more. More has engineering, and so and these are all free. You just need to go there, explore it, and you can read it, show it to your students. What is a tissue if you see? So these are notes on tissues. So you need, obviously, for doing anything, you will have to sign in. Similarly, you have OpenStax, which is again a movement of lot of organizations coming together and making free, giving you free books and free textbooks. That is why it's called Stacks. So you have algebra and so many books which are free here. So these are a list of K-12 books. These are the list of some open education resource. There is something known as Project Gutenberg, which are actually is a library of over 60,000 free ebooks. If you see here, so you can find many books. You need to just search there. This is again a not-for-profit project. Then there is a site for European Night. Gemendo, everybody knows it's for free. Then you have Weebkey books for kids also. So things like that are there. Now this is a list which I have curated for, especially for your teachers, which are subject specific OER, open education resources in maths, language, science. So there are also, I put Amrita and O Labs, if you know. These are virtual labs where you can do experiments virtually. A lot of you were teaching virtually last 2 years, so I'm sure many of you must have used it. So these are videos and virtual labs. So there is O Labs, Amrita, where you can actually go ahead and do that. Finally, I'll just finish the session by asking you to tell your students to ensure that they voice their opinion, they develop their own writing style through reading and using appropriate words. These are some tips and tricks they can use. For example, if you agree with an author, you say acknowledge, I affirm, I applaud. If you disagree, you can use these words like I question if Persia was a good queen, for example, in Shakespeare. If one is neutral, then you can accept. Yeah, I can accept, what your answer is. So these were a few tips for students. That is all for me today. The floor is open for questions. I
Gunjan ma'am,
yeah,
really interactive and quite, I learned a lot in the session.
thank you.
And especially last tip, I really admire that thing. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm putting the PDF of the link in the chat. So whoever wants, they can download it. Just a second.
Yeah, we'll download it, ma'am.
Yeah, I just give me 1 minute. Yeah, I'll send the link. Whoever wants to download, they can download. Ankita, Kamika, if you want to download, Sophia, Suman. Any questions you can ask me.
No, ma'am, no questions from my side. All sorted. I'll just download this. I hope uh, I'll use it. The most important thing.
Kamika, you have any questions, you can always put it on the chat. You can get in touch with me anytime you want. Um, have any questions, or if you want, some more help with links, I'll help you out.
Thank you for the wonderful session, ma'am.
Thank you. So I'll end the meeting now. Thank you for being there, each one of you. Keep learning and happy learning.
Thank you.